Hi viewers, welcome to Fremont. Are you a fan of crime thrillers? A series of murders, a serial killer, hunting, twists and turns, and then at the end, oh, so he's the killer. That off feeling? We are here to suggest you three good movies that are falling into this category. These are three South Indian movies which released over the span of last 5 to 6 years, and these three movies are first one, Memories, which released in 2013. It was written and directed by the Drishyam fame director Jitu Joseph. It kind of got a box office of around 7.5 crores. It's a running time of 2 hours 23 minutes. Now, the second movie is Ratsasan, which was released in 2018. It was written and directed by Ram Kumar, and the running time is 2 hours 24 minutes. It got a grossed a box office of 100 crores. The third movie is the main movie that we are going to be discussing today. That is Anjaam Pathira, released in 2020. It grossed a box office of 50 crores. It was written and directed by Mithun Manuel Thomas, the art fame director, and it has a running time of around 2 hours 24 minutes. So all these three movies do have around a similar running time, and the plots also share some common links. I would not say in terms of story, but rather in terms of execution of the story. So let's we will be majorly talking about Anjaam Pathira because that's a recent movie that released, and we are majorly going to be discussing about the pros and cons that the movie has in comparison to the other two movies. So, a box office of 50 crores is not a small amount when it comes to a Malayalam film industry. So, let's see if Anjaam Pathira is an overrated or an underrated movie in comparison to Memories and Ratsasan. So before going ahead and watching the complete video analysis video, so I would suggest you to watch all these three movies because we have a few spoilers ahead, as well as these three movies are worth watch. So now let's dive into the pros of Anjaam Pathira, and then we will discuss about the cons. In line, we will be comparing with Ratsasan and Memories. So let's start up with the title of the movie. So when we talk about the title of all these three movies, I would say that Anjaam Pathira is the leading title because it has all the essence of a crime thriller. It has the essence of some creepy moments, and at the same time, it does give us a very complete feel. So Anjaam Pathira, or The Fifth Night, looks very good in terms of the title. So hats off to the title. But when we talk about the title design, I would say Ratsasan is the best title design. It has the piano tiles as the theme, and piano is a very important playing key role in the movie. So Ratsasan's title design is very nice, but Anjaam Pathira stands up in terms of the title as such. Now, when we discuss about the next pros, it would be majorly about the performances by all the actors across. All these three movies do commonly have this brilliant performances presented. In Anjaam Pathira, performances from Pujaku Boban and Sharafuddin and Srinath Basi is so brilliant, very subtle, very good performances. But I would take up and say that Indran's Jafar Idiki and Matthew Thomas, they were the biggest highlights, and also Arun, who played the priest. So these four characters, they do not have a huge screen space. It's majorly around 10% of the screen space, but they did deliver very memorable characters during that 10% of the time frame that they have during this 2.5 hours of running time. And another two excellent performances which we can take up is Jinu Joseph and Undi Maya. So in performance terms, I believe Anjaam Pathira was the best among the three because it had a complete set of everybody performing very well. So now, when we look into the next point, it would majorly be the script of the movie. Or always, a script plays a very pivotal role in any movie. When it comes to Memories, the script is very well written. It has a lot of thrill elements, a lot of twists and turns. But at the same time, as the movie suggests, it's more of an emotional drama where the trauma of the hero influences the case investigation. So this trauma, sometimes we would feel it as a little lack, because it's more, it kind of becomes more of a drama than an intense thriller. But at the same time, towards the second half of the movie, it becomes a very gripping thriller as well. So when it comes to Ratsasan and Anjaam Pathira, it's not that way. It's a very intense thriller from the first moment to the last moment. It's an intense thriller that they have maintained. Ratsasan does have a little of those funny moments, and also a little of this drama playing the backdrop of the hero. But rather, Anjaam Pathira does not have any of it. Anjaam Pathira is completely only focusing on the criminals, the suspects flashback. We do not have a hero's flashback. So it's more of a very to the point, 2.5 hours of a tight screenplay with a lot of twists and turns. And the writer has actually done a lot of homework. We can connect to many of the incidents to the real life incidents that's happened. So that kind of a good homework is done. And we do find a lot of innovative ways that they have done, like hypnotism and other things that's not too common in crime thrillers for us in India. So that comes to the script part, and then next is the cinematography and editing. I would take them both on par, because they go hand in hand when it comes to a thriller. The gripping feel, the thrill element, everything is based on these two elements. So I would say that all the three movies did a very good job in that. They all kept us engaged and kept us thrilled. But Anjaam Pathira lies a little low in terms of cinematography, I would say, because we could not see any innovative shots or a new freak sequence frames like how we found it in Memories and Ratsasan. The Ratsasan, where the set of the serial killer was set up, it was beautiful. The art direction was also beautiful, and the angles that had, for example, towards the end, there's a frame where he lifts the kid by her chin using a hammer. So it's a very beautiful frame. Similarly, in Memories, every time they are showing a new dead body, the frames they have used, it did bag a Kerala State Award for Best Cinematography as well. So Sujit Vasudev has done a very beautiful job in Memories as well. So in these two cases, I believe Anjaam Pathira lies a little low. The next important element would be the music. All the three movies stand on par. When Memories had more of an emotional music, where there is a song as well, but the other two movies were majorly based on the background score that they had played. Gibran's background score for Ratsasan and Sushin Shyam's background score for Anjaam Pathira. Both were very brilliant. These killers' background music, the psycho music and all that was so gripping. It always helped the movie, especially also when we talk about the Indran's scene. So that 5 or 10 minutes within which Indran's impressed us so much. The sound design also plays a very pivotal role in it. Next could be about the female characterization that I saw in all of these three movies. They all had a very good female characterization. Females were on par with male, which is a very, very positive thing when it comes to the screenplay writing. So now we discussed a lot about the pros that Anjaam Pathira had. Now let's look into the cons that Anjaam Pathira had. So the first con would be, again, the strength of Anjaam Pathira was the script, and the con is also regarding the script. There were a lot of loopholes in the script. The first loophole which I could say about is creating a mask of a serial killer. That was the idea of Sharfuddin during the movie, but though we can think of it as a very interesting idea, but we will somewhere miss out that why do we need to do all this for a personal revenge? At the same time, Ratsasan and Memories, they were giving us a justification in some manner. One contradicting point here is that in Ratsasan and Memories, when the serial killer is performing a murder, so we have an inner feeling that, okay, he shouldn't be doing this, because though his perspective is that he's serving justice, but it is not true. But in terms of Anjaam Pathira, the scriptwriter leaves us so confused, because it has a very cliche type ending where there is this very emotional backdrop, and for that he killed a few innocent people. But it looked like there was a cover up by covering it all up and just giving more prominence to the revenge that he is taking. So that shouldn't have been there, but rather Sharafuddin deserved to die for the bad acts he has done. Is one point which was missing in Anjaam Pathira, which I could find in Ratsasan and Memories. Another would be about the cybersecurity. The police network was completely hacked. That was the story plot twist that comes up. That's the first twist that comes up in the story. So it was nice. It was interesting, though it is not very believable. But still, even if it was done, why did they call up a new guy from outside when there is a cybersecurity team for every police department? So normally when something like that happens, we do not allow somebody else from outside into our network, into our police network. So it's more of like a data breach. So they would have consulted the cybersecurity team, and if it was not, they were not able to handle as an extra person into the team, they could have called Srinath Basi. But rather, it was like Srinath Basi came up from nowhere, and then that too Kunjako Bowen, who was not a part of the police team, he suggests Srinath Basi, then he comes in, and then he heads the complete cybersecurity work, and there's nobody to help him as well. Another drawback was regarding the characters. The character writing in all the three movies were very good, but I found that the characters were fading away in Anjaam Pathira. When movies like Memories and Ratsasan had characters very well written and were consistent throughout the movie, there were characters like Indrans and Psycho Simon which were very, very good. They had much potential than Sharafuddin, I believe. But still, these two characters faded away much quickly in the movie. It was only Psycho Simon's flashback and Indran's 10 minutes. Indran's just turned out to be the stimulus for Kunjako Bowen to believe that another murder would happen. So that's the only stimulus that Indran's played in the movie, which is very, very disappointing for such good, promising characters that were built in. So that was one drawback which I found in the script writing, which Memories and Ratsasan managed to not have. The another loophole would be regarding the gift that the serial killers, or the clue that the serial killers left. So the idea in all the three movies is very good. When Ratsasan it's more of a cliche, but rather in Memories and in Anjaam Pathira it was a little more standing out and it was more symbolic. But in Anjaam Pathira, one small loophole was related to this is the blind painter, the blind sculptor. He created 6 of them instead of 5 and kept one at his home. I really doubt how Sharafuddin got to know that he has done 6 of them and then he comes back to get the 6th one. Another loophole would be about the drug injection to the police officers. There is nowhere that it is said how the drug was injected, and the police officers also do not bother to investigate in that perspective. If they had investigated in that perspective, they could have traced back to the killer, because there should be some kind of a physical intervention that the police of the culprits had to do to inject this drug to the police officers, to the victims. Another drawback which I could find in all the 3 movies was this clean-shade heroism. When it comes to a crime thriller in India, I think most of the movies do have this over-heroism where only the hero puts in inputs to the team, and he's the only one who brings progress in the case. So though Memories and Ratsasan had some intellectual cops, but rather in Anjaam Pathira it was psychologist from outside who's doing this. So it was completely absurd when it comes to Anjaam Pathira, because there is nobody in the police team who is giving at least one input. All the ideas from the first till the end is portrayed by Kunjako Bowen. So even the senior officer is the first thing she does when there's some critical situation is ask Anwar Hussain what do we do next. We would be expecting some kind of realism also in crime thrillers, but maybe we can expect in future there are movies where not just the hero puts in inputs, but also the people who are along with him puts in the inputs. Another drawback which we could talk about would be the relationship between the husband and wife. The way they were communicating looked so dramatic. It had a lot of philosophy, long dialogues, quotes of Shakespeare and Da Vinci Code and so on. Memories and Ratsasan did stand out in that case because the emotional moments were very, very good or very well portrayed in both these movies. So when I come to a final verdict on whether Anjaam Pathira was overrated or underrated, I would not say it is overrated because it was a very good thriller, 2.5 hours of a very good screenplay, very well engaging. But rather, I would say Memories was underrated. 7.5 crores for a very good, very different thriller. That was 2013, such kind of a thriller. It was very promising a movie, but didn't make well in the box office, which is very disappointing. So maybe we should try to accept movies when it comes to theater rather than talk about it in social media after the movie vanishes from the theater. So one thing I could suggest is that please to watch the movie in the theater. Do not make presumptions that the movie is more of an emotional drama before watching it, and then take a choice whether the movie is good or not, and decide whether to accept it or not. So let's hope that we get more box office collections from Malayalam film industry with a lot of thrillers. If you like the video, please do like it and put up a comment in your comment section about what is your view about these three movies. And also suggest us if you have any suggestion list of a comparison between different movies. If you're a movie fan and you want to always be updated about what is the next movie that you should be watching and how whether the movie is good or not, please do follow our channel, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you are notified when new video is released. Thank you very much. Bye bye.